I have a fresh video on my channel where I discuss the frequent attacks not only on NATO heavy military equipment, but also on military factories that supply the armed forces of Ukraine with drones, shells, and small arms. Unfortunately for the West, these attacks regularly occur throughout Europe. The perpetrators of these attacks have not yet been caught. There are still various assumptions about these attacks. Some blame Russian saboteurs for everything, and some are sure that these attacks are the work of local residents, who blame NATO and its top leadership for all the troubles. But whoever was the true culprit of these attacks, the fact remains that NATO military factories working for the needs of the armed forces of Ukraine are gradually going out of order throughout Europe. So, as I expected, the attacks on NATO and European countries continued. This time, a military plant in Bulgaria, in the city of Karnobat, was attacked. Apparently, the attackers acted according to a strictly considered plan, and knew perfectly well where to strike. A powerful explosion occurred at a large weapons factory in the city of Karnobat, after which a big fire started. It was this plant that supplied the armed forces of Ukraine with shells, and repaired damaged heavy military equipment not only of the Soviet style, but also of NATO countries. All this forced Bulgarian officials to shout about the Russian trace. Of course, all these accusations sound without any evidence. However, if these incidents are indeed the handiwork of a group of Russian saboteurs, then it is worth paying tribute to them. Since May 2023, there have been regular attacks on NATO facilities on the territory of the European Union. Dozens of NATO armored vehicles and military factories are burning, which work exclusively to maintain the combat readiness of the armed forces of Ukraine. The most interesting thing is that in all these cases it was not possible to prove the involvement of Russian saboteurs. Even if these diversions were made by the hands of local residents, it is worth noting the professionalism of these people, since the investigation has so far failed to catch any culprit of these incidents. By the way, it is worth noting that the owner of the burned-down plant is a multi-millionaire and founder of the Emco Arms Company, Emilian Gerbiu. Emilian Gerbiu is a very extraordinary person and a well-known Bulgarian Russophobe. Since 2015, Emilian Gerbiu claims that he is on the Kremlin's blacklist, and that Moscow will stop at nothing until it sends him to the next world. So, despite the fact that his factory was burned down, unlike the Bulgarian authorities, Emilian Gerbiu did not blame Russia for destroying his property. Maybe this Bulgarian weapon baron knows that it was not the Russians who destroyed his factory, but the banal lack of safety equipment. Or maybe Emilian Gerbiu just decided not to draw attention to himself with anti-Russian statements anymore, knowing that sooner or later Russia will achieve all its goals, and begin to harshly persecute all those who openly opposed Moscow. Whatever it was, I'm absolutely sure that NATO facilities will continue to explode and burn in European Union. And who was the true culprit of these incidents, we will find out only after the long-awaited peace comes to Europe.